This beautiful woman with long legs is a witch. Her name is Yuko. She runs a wish-granting shop. It is said that she can fulfill any wish. This boy named Kimihiro has been able to see yokai, which others cannot, and it seems that the yokai are very interested in him. They always like to chase after him, but when he runs to a wall, the yokai seem to be afraid and disappear. Curious, Kimihiro looks through the wall. Suddenly, two girls appear and pull him inside. Once inside, Kimihiro sees Yuko. He feels that the atmosphere is a little strange. He wants to leave, but Yuko directly mentions that he can see yokai. The reason Kimihiro has this supernatural ability is that his blood attracts yokai. This is possibly due to a hereditary factor. Yuko tells Kimihiro that this place can fulfill any wish, but a corresponding price will be charged. Yuko knows what Kimihiro's wish is. He doesn't want to see those scary yokai anymore. Yuko says she can grant his wish, but in exchange, Kimihiro must stay here and work for her. He will be responsible for cooking and cleaning. Yuko then takes out a cute little creature named Makona. She asks Kimihiro and Makona to go buy food. However, during their trip to the supermarket, Kimihiro realizes that he can still see yokai. On the way back to the wish-granting shop, Kimihiro overhears some girls chatting. One of the girls says that she can see yokai every day. Suddenly, this girl says there is a yokai right in front of them, but Kimihiro doesn't see any yokai nearby. Curious, he wants to ask her about it, but is scolded by the girl. The girl says she has a mysterious constitution that allows her to detect the presence of yokai. People like them, ordinary humans, will never understand. Just then, the yokai that had been following Kimihiro possesses this girl. The yokai even shows a smug expression. Therefore, this incident tells us that we shouldn't brag. In daily life, Kimihiro, feeling furious, goes to find Yuko. He can't accept the idea of hurting others just to fulfill his wish. But Yuko says that what you dislike doesn't mean others feel the same way. Everything that happens in life has meaning. One day, a customer named Mickey comes to the wish-granting shop. Her eyes are vacant. She says that lately her little finger can't move properly. Yuko asks if she has any bad habits. Mickey thinks for a moment and says no, but Yuko notices black smoke coming from Mickey's little finger. Yuko then takes out a ring and hands it to Mickey. She tells Mickey that if she feels unwell, she should wear the ring, but if it doesn't help, she can simply discard the ring. A few days later, Mickey came back. Yuko noticed that Mickey was wearing the ring on her hand. Then she suddenly said that Mickey's bad habit had not been corrected. She asked Mickey how old she was, but when Mickey said she was 18, the black smoke once again emerged from her hand. Yuko immediately pointed at her mouth and asked again if she had any bad habits, but Mickey stubbornly insisted that she had no bad habits. At this moment, the ring was already damaged. Yuko told Mickey that if she didn't correct her bad habits soon, it might be too late. Mickey still couldn't remember any bad habits she had. She then mentioned that she had a date and quickly left. Kimihiro was very curious about this matter, so he decided to follow Mickey. He also wanted to find out what Mickey's bad habit was. During the time Kimihiro followed Mickey, he noticed that Mickey had been lying the whole time. Almost everything she said to others was a lie. Every time she lied, the black smoke grew thicker. It seemed like she had become a habitual liar. She even claimed that the ring was all a gift from her boyfriend. At that point, Mickey noticed that the ring was getting dirtier. She took it off, but the moment the ring was removed, the black smoke swallowed her whole. Her entire body became paralyzed. The next moment, a truck came speeding toward her. Later, Kimihiro held the ring in her hand and asked Yuko why she didn't warn Mickey to correct her lying habit. Yuko replied that she had already warned Mickey many times. It was just that Mickey didn't want to change. Recently, a game called Angel has become popular on campus. It's a game where participants use certain physical objects to summon yokai. One day, a girl named Himawari came to Yuko for help. She is Kimihiro's classmate and someone he has secretly admired. Himawari explained that recently the Angel game had caused her friends to behave unusually. When Yuko heard this, she handed the matter over to Kimihiro to handle. Kimihiro was confused and asked Yuko why he, who knew nothing, should take care of it. Yuko told him that this way Himawari wouldn't have to pay a price and the rules of the wish-granting shop wouldn't be violated. Yuko instructed Kimihiro to take his classmate Demiki with him to complete the task. However, Kimihiro strongly opposed the idea because Demiki was his rival in love, but his objections had no effect. Yuko gave him a pair of fake ears. It turned out that these fake ears were a wireless phone connected to Yuko. Kimihiro found Demiki, and after some bickering, they immediately began their mission. Kimihiro discovered that the school was surrounded by a swirling black smoke. Yuko explained that it was caused by a powerful entity. The black smoke and stench filled the classrooms and hallways. Yuko informed them that these were the yokai, summoned by the students playing the angel game. She told them to go to the place where the smell was strongest. Kimihiro and Demiki followed the stench and arrived at the rooftop. There they found 3 female students playing the angel game. The yokai they had summoned threatened them, saying the game would not end and they couldn't go home. Kimihiro struggled to separate their hands, and the black smoke vanished instantly. However, the 3 girls ran toward the edge of the roof. Kimihiro tried to stop them, but Demiki suddenly asked him who he was talking to. That's when Kimihiro realized that the 3 girls were actually transformed yokai. But it was already too late. In a dangerous moment, Demiki saved him just in time. At that moment, the swirling black smoke below transformed into a giant black snake and devoured the 3 yokai. Demiki pulled Kimihiro up, but the wireless phone fell out. They lost contact with Yuko. Completely faced with the ferocious attack of the giant snake, their only option was to escape. In a critical moment, Yuko's voice came through the fake ears on the ground. The giant black snake seemed to fear Yuko and immediately turned away. Afterward, Demiki expressed that he was willing to believe Kimihiro could see yokai, but he felt that this ability was useless. Yuko explained that Kimihiro's bloodline was considered a delicacy in the eyes of yokai. On the other hand, Demiki had an immunity to all evil, making him the perfect person to protect Kimihiro. If they worked together on tasks, it would be the ideal pairing. One day, Yuko received a request to help someone overcome their internet addiction. She opened a sliding door and a space portal appeared behind it. Then she pulled Kimihiro inside, and they arrived at a shop. Yuko bought a baseball bat for herself. Afterward, she led Kimihiro to meet the client, a woman named Hana. It turned out that Hana's internet addiction had reached a critical point. She was neglecting her children, and her husband had even asked for a divorce. Hana wanted to quit, but she couldn't control herself. One day, she stumbled across Yuko's wish-granting shop online and decided to ask Yuko for help. Yuko gave the simplest solution. Just turn off the computer and never turn it on again. After Yuko left, the computer seemed to call out to Hana as if it could lure her soul. Unable to resist, Hana opened the computer. Just then a gust of wind blew through the curtains, and Yuko appeared once more. Hana was startled, and she confessed to Yuko that she simply couldn't quit the internet completely. She begged Yuko to help her in another way. Yuko immediately agreed, but she said she would take the red chair as the price. After Hana agreed, Yuko took out her baseball bat. She drew a magical symbol on it and then smashed the computer into 2 pieces. On their way back, Kimihiro was thinking that even though the computer was destroyed, Hana could always buy a new one or go online somewhere else. That wouldn't really count as quitting her addiction. But Yuko explained to him that if she had helped Hana in a more advanced way, the price would have been much greater than just a chair. So this was the best choice. Listening to Yuko, Kimihiro began to realize that this powerful, which was actually full of positive energy. The heavy rain had been pouring for 3 days and nights. As Kimihiro complained about the relentless downpour, suddenly someone hit him on the head. A girl appeared in front of him, and it turned out she was Amiana, a being with the power to summon rain. Amiana had come to find Kimihiro. She offered to pay any price if he would help her with something. Hearing her words, Yuko immediately ignored Kimihiro's protests and agreed to help. After all, Amiana was a deity and Demiki could also see her. But Demiki mocked her as a yokai, which made Amiana angry enough to hit him on the head with her umbrella. So once again, Kimihiro was forced to team up with Demiki. Amiana formally asked them to help her with a task. Before they set off on their mission, Yuko sent Demiki to borrow 2 hairbands from Himawari. Amiana then led them to their destination, a vast hydrangea macrophylla flower field. But the flowers there were not ordinary. These blooms were extraordinarily vivid and even moved on their own. Kimihiro, curious, tried to get a closer look. Suddenly black smoke erupted and Kimihiro was sucked into a mysterious place. There he encountered a lost little girl. Kimihiro planned to help her find her way home. But no matter which path they took, they couldn't seem to escape this strange place. As he stopped and gazed at the bizarre scenery ahead, golden beams of light flickered all around him. At that moment, a voice echoed in Kimihiro's mind, warning him not to enter, or he would never get out. But the little girl insisted on dragging him toward the ominous place. Seeing how pitiful she was, Kimihiro's heart softened. Just then, Himawari's hair band appeared above him. Kimihiro tried to pull the little girl away, but she refused, saying she was too dirty and would be laughed at by others. Kimihiro continued to reassure her, and finally the little girl agreed to leave. He took her into the sky. When Kimihiro woke up, he was still holding the little girl's hand tightly. But to his horror, the little girl had turned into a pile of white bones. It turns out, the little girl departed from this world with boundless resentment. She intended to drag Kimihiro with her to hell. Fortunately, it was the hydrangea macrophylla flower spirit that had warned Kimihiro in time. If the hydrangea macrophylla flower spirit was the only light in hell, then Demiki was Kimihiro's son. After Kimihiro had disappeared, Demiki kept digging and waiting for 10 hours in the rain just to rescue him. The two hairbands that Yuko had borrowed became a symbol of their connection, guiding them to each other. In the end, Kimihiro was saved by Demiki once more. Later, Amiana came to thank them, but she wasn't thanking them for saving the little girl. Her true purpose was to save the hydrangea macrophylla flower spirit, which had been contaminated by the little girl's corpse. Mari was waiting for the subway, frustrated that she was going to be late for an important interview. She wished for some kind of accident to happen right there, and then something that could give her an excuse for being late. The very next second, a figure suddenly fell down in front of her. Mari was terrified. This wasn't the first time something like this had happened. A few days earlier, Yuko had been organizing items in the warehouse, all belonging to people whose wishes had been fulfilled. At this moment, Mari arrived here and immediately took a liking to an item. Yuko said she could give it to her, but she must never open it. The next day, Kimihiro saw Mari at school. It turned out she was a new intern teacher, but as she was going down the stairs, an accident happened, causing the object to accidentally open. Inside, there was a hand bone. Mari stared at the hand bone in excitement. She believed the mysterious object must have some magical power and casually wished aloud that it should rain continuously from that moment until evening. To her shock, it immediately started to rain. Yuko explained that the object was a monkey's paw, a magical artifact that grants wishes to those who are worthy, but at a cost. However, Mari grew more addicted to this newfound power. The next day, the water in the school pool mysteriously disappeared. Mari then made another wish for a magic mirror, and this time one of the fingers on the monkey's paw broke off. She understood that each time she made a wish, one of the fingers would break. But Mari didn't care. She thoroughly enjoyed this feeling. Demiki warned her that the last person who used the monkey's paw had met a terrible end, but Mari was confident she could handle it. Once a person's desires are awakened, they fall into endless greed. Even her graduation thesis she completed with the help of the monkey's paw. After submitting her thesis, her professor praised it highly. He even invited her for an interview the next day. Mari was thrilled because this was the opportunity that could change her fate, but she was late. She silently wished if only something could happen right now to give me an excuse for being late. The next moment, a girl near her suddenly fell. Her wish had come true again, but this time Mari hadn't expected her wish to lead to the death of an innocent person. In a panic, she rushed to school, realizing that the monkey's paw only had one finger left, which meant she had one last wish to make. At that moment, her professor called to tell her that her thesis had too many similarities to someone else's work and canceled her interview. As Mari reflected on the events of the morning, she started to feel a sense of dread. She could feel the monkey's paw starting to turn against her. At the same time, the door behind her was being struck by something. The fear was growing stronger. In desperation, she made her final wish. She wanted everything to disappear. At that very moment, the last finger of the monkey's paw broke off and grabbed Mari by the neck, strangling her to death, because only by her death would she be completely free from everything around her. This was also her final wish, but it was fulfilled in a different way. Some students heard strange noises coming from the room. When they opened the door, they found nothing. Meanwhile, the monkey's paw had returned to Yuko. She sealed it once again, waiting for the next person with a fateful connection to it to appear.